Hello, pioneers. My name is Dejaun Gray, and I am one of the associate counselors at CSU East Bay.
Hello, my name's Rosa. I'm one of the counselor faculty supervisors here as well. Welcome.
And we're here to talk about self-care and a little bit about our counseling services on campus.
All right. I'm going to start us off just by defining self care. I know it's a term that gets tossed around a lot. It is an act of self preservation, it is the actions that we do to take care of our physical, mental, and spiritual health.
Right, and self-care can come in many forms. It can be in the form of setting boundaries, staying at home, saying no, forgiving yourself, taking a step back, maybe asking for some help, spending time alone from those around you, putting yourself first, and even asking for what you need during those harder moments.
And now we're going to go and look at this stress bucket.
Every day, we experience the various stresses of life, otherwise known as stressors, and they begin to fill a container that is inside each and every one of us. Depending on how big your container is, depends how quickly the container fills up. Problems occur when the container is full and it begins to overflow, as this symbolizes emotional snapping, or in other words, that time we have all experienced when we, or someone we know, has an over-emotional response to something for no known logical reason. To prevent this from happening, we require a tap, or even several taps, that allow us to drain these unhealthy stresses from our containers. This is otherwise known as helpful and healthy coping strategies, such as exercise, guided meditation, and music, that helps us to alleviate negative impacts from the stresses and ensures that we can manage the stresses of everyday life. There are also unhealthy and unhelpful coping strategies, such as smoking, eating unhealthfully, drugs and alcohol, which whilst they may help in the short term, long term they will exaggerate problems and often lead to an increase in negative symptoms. The stress container can also be related to someone's personal resilience, which is where some people can become extremely overworked at everyday life very quickly, whilst others can remain almost horizontal, rarely becoming overly concerned or stressed at the most serious of situations. We as individuals can train ourselves to become more resilient, and as such increase the size of our stress containers. Until this happens, 1. Identify what your stresses are, regardless of size. 2. Identify what specific coping strategies work for you. 3. Learn to accept the things you cannot change and identify what needs to be done about the things you can. 4. Ask for help. We all need the support of others from time to time. The key thing to remember is talking to someone about how we are feeling, not being embarrassed to talk about our problems, stresses, and our mental health generally. Is a courageous first step forward and one towards gaining the necessary support we require.
Thank you for watching that video. So we're going to move
Every
on
day.
to another part of our lecture.
Yes, what can we do in regards to now that we saw the stress bucket to take care of ourselves, right? So the 5 hours of self-care. Relax and recharge. Those go hand in hand. A lot of the times we want to know, even sometimes when we are feeling like, all these stressors, what can we do to make it a little bit better? Closing our eyes, taking that time up, out just for us to be able to relax and just recharge a little bit throughout the day. Reflecting too. A lot of thoughts are racing through our minds. Sometimes just putting them on a to do list, jotting them down on a piece of paper, that's going to help us sort of move forward. Regulating our emotions. We need to learn how to calm our minds and our bodies as well. So exercising, yoga, deep breathing, these type of exercises will definitely help again reset ourselves. And just really basic human needs, remembering to eat, hydrating ourselves, really just learning just how to take care of ourselves. That's going to make us feel better and reset ourselves throughout the day.
And now we're going to watch a reflection video that reminds us of the importance of self-care and really showing up for yourself, taking care of yourself. And while this is applicable to when we were in the pandemic, a lot of the values that are in this video are still applicable today.
Today we're going to be talking about showing up for yourself. So when there's a lot going on in our lives, in the world, when it feels as though there's just no more space in our mind, It's really tempting to let go of the things that are most important to us and the things that are going to keep us healthy and well. And now more than ever, it's really important that we focus on those things that are going to keep us healthy and well. So as much as possible, if you can, find a time to meditate. Find a time to step out of the thinking mind, to rest the thinking mind and just be present. Make sure you're taking time to exercise if you can. Most of the gyms are closed down. It might mean going out for a walk, it might mean going out for a run, it might be doing something at home. But whatever it is, make sure that your body's getting some kind of physical movement. Make sure you're getting enough sleep. Sleep is so important. It's important to our immune system. It's important to our cognition. If you don't get enough rest, then you're going to compromise all kind of different aspects of your health. Eating, right now, eating's going to be difficult for all of us, and we may not get everything that we want. But continuing to eat as healthily as you can is going to be a really important part of staying healthy and well. And then finally, finding a sense of play in your life. In the middle of a global pandemic where so many people are suffering, and maybe people really, really close to you are suffering as well, play and a sense of joy can feel so far removed and perhaps even unnecessary in our life. But if we can find even a couple of moments in the day where we smile, maybe even laugh, find something that brings us a sense of joy, that has a very real impact, not just on our mind, but also on our body. So just making sure that you're looking after yourself. Remember, it's not selfish. It's not just for you. It also benefits the people around you as well. Today, we're going to be talking.
All right, and so now we're going to talk a little bit about our online self-care resources for our Pioneer students. So something that may not be known is that the Student Health and Counseling Services Center provides a wealth of resources. We have online wellness resources available on our website. We even have some self-help videos created by our counselors, specifically curated for students such as yourself. And we even give examples of what pleasant activities could look like because as an everyday student, there are many moments of stress, right? You're not just a student, maybe a parent, sibling, caretaker. So really we want to provide you with these resources so that way it helps you to remember how to take care of yourself.
All right, and Student Health and Counseling is an on-campus health clinic here. The student health fee is already included in your tuition, therefore you're not paying anything else out of pocket to access professional and confidential counseling. By confidential, that means that it just stays between you and the counselor. Sessions are available in person, like on campus. They're also available over Zoom and over the telephone, whatever the student prefers.
And now moving on to be more specific about what services we provide. Really, we encourage you to come in for any personal concern. We provide individual counseling, group counseling, and even couple counseling if you and your significant other are both current CSU East Bay students. And occasionally throughout the year, we also provide educational workshops so that way you can learn more about your symptoms and different ways to cope with them.
There are also counseling groups that are being offered under student health and counseling services. During each semester, the topics do vary. We go based on a lot about feedbacks on what the students do provide for us. Some of the topics that have been in the past have been on anxiety, depression, stress, relationships, transitions, throughout the different roles that students do carry while in school. And there also will be some groups that will be available in person, but most of them are over Zoom. And the details are on there, and you can scan the QR code for more information too.
And now speaking about scheduling, right? We allow our students to schedule throughout many ways. You can schedule online, by telephone, or in person. And really, we want to make sure that you receive any help possible. So we even have same-day crisis appointments available for our students, and we are connected with an outside program called Protocol. So at times where you need to speak to someone after hours or on the weekend, we do have that service available to you as a student at East Bay.
Thank you so much for joining us, and feel free to connect with us through Instagram, in person, or on the phone. And we hope to see you in some other groups as well.
Yes, we look forward to seeing you soon, pioneers, and thank you for watching our video.